On this day in military history, October 22nd, the world has held its breath during a superpower standoff, and a major conflict in American history reached a fever pitch. 1962. Kennedy announces the quarantine of Cuba. In a televised address that gripped the world, U.S. President John F. Kennedy announced to the American people and the world that the Soviet Union was building offensive nuclear missile bases in Cuba. In response, he declared that a naval quarantine, a less escalatory term for a blockade, would be established around the island to prevent further military supplies from reaching it. He made it clear that any missile launched from Cuba would be regarded as an attack by the Soviet Union on the United States, demanding a full retaliatory response. Significance. This speech marked the moment the Cuban Missile Crisis became public and is considered the most dangerous point of the entire Cold War. For 13 days, the world stood on the brink of nuclear war as the United States and the Soviet Union engaged in a tense, strategic standoff. Kennedy's decisive but carefully measured response initiated a period of intense diplomatic and military maneuvering that ultimately led to the withdrawal of the Soviet missiles in exchange for a U.S. pledge not to invade Cuba and a secret agreement to remove U.S. missiles from Turkey. October 22, 1784. Treaty of Fort Stanwix is signed. Following the end of the American Revolutionary War, representatives of the United States and the Iroquois Confederacy, also known as the Six Nations, signed the Treaty of Fort Stanwix. The treaty was intended to serve as a peace treaty between the Americans and the Iroquois nations. American negotiators, however, treated the Iroquois as a conquered people and forced them to cede vast territories in Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York. Significance. This treaty is a landmark event in the history of U.S. Native American relations. It effectively dispossessed the Iroquois of huge tracts of their ancestral lands and set a precedent for future land cession. Treaties that were often negotiated under duress. The treaty's terms were rejected by many Iroquois leaders who had not been present, leading to further conflict and resentment. It marked a significant step in the westward expansion of the United States at the direct expense of Native American sovereignty. Thanks for visiting Let's Talk Tech. For more cool, tactical, and informative videos, click like, subscribe, and don't forget to share.